co-parenting relationship?
What do you think co-parenting with Kanye West is like?
How much is on you, Kim?
It's not easy. But I mean, I raise the kids, full time. They live with me. Whenever he'll call for them and ask, it's probably been a couple months since we've heard from him.
The world watched her grow up, from a swaddled newborn in a reality TV empire to a preteen with her own burgeoning and fiercely independent identity. But the carefully curated narrative of Northwest, the firstborn daughter of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, has begun to fracture, revealing a story far more complex and unsettling than any plotline on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. This isn't just about a child expressing herself. This is about a mother grappling with a force she can no longer fully control, a struggle playing out in the blinding glare of the public eye. We all saw the pictures, the ones that sent shockwaves through the internet. North, just 12 years old, adorned with face tattoos, a metallic grill glinting in her mouth, and colored contacts that transformed her familiar gaze into something entirely other. It was a look that felt less like a playful costume and more like a declaration, a statement of identity so starkly at odds with her age that it left everyone asking the same desperate question. What is Kim Kardashian thinking? You have to admit, it was a little bit spooky. I remember seeing it for the first time and thinking it had to be a Halloween getup. But no, this was her real-life outfit for a concert. She was taking a private jet with her friends, all dressed in a similar, edgy aesthetic, flying off to an event that would become the central piece of this troubling puzzle. It looked like a scene from a movie about rebellious teen stardom, not a Tuesday in the life of a sixth grader.
I feel like I could be Batman. I feel like you could be Batman. Anybody could be Batman. You just gotta get the gadgets.
And that concert, the Antagonist Tour, is where the concern shifts from mere aesthetics to something far more tangible and dangerous. This wasn't just a musical event. It was a gathering of artists from the Opium Collective, a group whose brand is built on a darkness that extends far beyond their music. We're talking about men like Destroy Lonely, a performer North was reportedly there to see. And the details surrounding him are not just concerning, they are chilling. His ex-girlfriend Aisha has spoken out publicly, detailing horrific allegations of abuse. She described an incident in Germany where, after an argument, he allegedly pushed her into a bed frame so violently that he broke her head open.
Cardi is facing his biggest challenge yet as the leader of Opium with this homicide gang situation. Allegedly, Bino, who's one half of the duo, has been DMing underage girls and trying to meet up with them backstage at their concerts. And there's also alleged screenshots to back this up as well. These allegations have led the duo to cancel their tour as well.
She accused him of slapping her in the face, slapping her to the floor, and subjecting her to relentless verbal harm, all because she was tired and didn't want to get up that exact second to roll him a joint. This is the individual a 12-year-old girl was in a venue to watch perform. This is the energy she was surrounded by. But if you thought that was an isolated case, think again. The pattern of behavior within this circle is so pervasive, it becomes a defining characteristic. Another performer on that same tour, an artist named Ken, has actually been arrested for what he allegedly put his girlfriend through.
I don't like how she posts pictures on Instagram and she's saying she don't care or she gonna do it for the money. And I'm like, bro, like why you in a relationship with you? Then she say she wanna break up all this shit, then we just arguing and fighting and she ended up going out the room in her drawers and getting locked out the door, and then that's how we came downstairs. Cause the glass door upstairs, you can't get in without a key fob. So she was trying to walk, but then she was angry, talking, she walked outside in the drawers and she can't get back in. And then come in the hallway, we still arguing, end up arguing downstairs, still arguing, end up arguing upstairs, still arguing, and they call me because we arguing. They just don't want us to get physical. Y'all didn't get physical at all?
There is body cam footage, a stark, unedited look at the aftermath of domestic violence, showing this man being taken into custody. It makes you sick to your stomach, doesn't it? That there are so many men out here hurting women, and that a young girl who should be protected from such realities is being placed directly in their orbit.
How come she's saying that you hit her? Is there a reason for that? Is there a reason why she would try to say that you hit her?
I don't think so.
No? Not at all? Okay. So you didn't put your hands on her?
No.
No? Not at all? How come?
And it doesn't stop there. The main headliner himself, Playboy Cardi, has his own long and documented history of accusations. We may not know the name of the girlfriend involved in one particular incident, but we have the testimony of his own employee, a man named Carl Reynolds, who was driving the car when an argument between Cardi and his then-girlfriend escalated to such a violent, heated degree that he felt compelled to pull the vehicle over. It got so bad that they had to be separated into 2 different cars. This isn't gossip. This is a pattern of alleged behavior.
Other than pushing you down and choking you, what else? And I know you said you couldn't breathe. Yeah. Were you gasping for air? And were you asking him to let you go?
I was trying to, but I couldn't even. I was scared. At that point, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die.
From multiple individuals associated with a single event. An event that Kim Kardashian allowed her preteen daughter to attend via private jet. So we have to circle back to the central burning question: why? Why would a mother with all the resources in the world permit this? The answer seems to lie in a parenting philosophy that has spiraled into something resembling a total lack of boundaries. Kim has positioned herself as the main parent, the one who makes the rules, especially with Kanye West being largely absent from the day-to-day picture. And if her own statements are anything to go by, she has very few rules when it comes to self-expression. It sounds like a free-range approach to raising a child in a billion-dollar bubble. Let's be real, Kim is constantly working, building her empires in shapewear and private equity. So when does she have the time to meticulously oversee every aspect of North's life? It seems like North, with the help of a team of assistants and nannies, can essentially get whatever she wants. So, do the face tattoos? Sure. Fly the private jet? Why not? Go to a concert headlined by men with serious, violent allegations? Apparently, that's on the table too. This permissive stance becomes even more confusing when you consider that Kim has, in fact, admitted to making poor choices in the past. She was recently on the Call Her Daddy podcast and confessed that she's made some mistakes when it comes to helping style her daughter. She recalled a moment when North wanted to wear something her friends were wearing, and Kim, in her own words, said, "Okay, we're never wearing that again." She admitted,
"Have the Hollywood bug. Do you think she's the one that's going to just continue with the family business?"
I think she will. I think it's just in her blood and who she is and what she loves to do.
Yeah.
So it's, a fine line as a parent to figure that out together.
To guide her.
Yeah.
You are awaiting the bar exam results. They're coming in November. You were studying while you're doing the show. How would you kind of describe this era that you're in? Because you're juggling a lot.
I mean, it's pretty meta, right? It is good practice. Right. There is a lot of lingo that I know that is really fun that I have to explain to the other girls. Yeah, that they don't really know. So it has been such a fun experience.
Life imitating art is hilarious. Like, I'm sure you didn't plan all of that,
We kind of did, though.
You did?
Yeah, we kind of did. I mean, it was inspired. Ryan wrote the role based off of my law school journey and then with a twist.
You're a leading lady now, and I love it.
Unfortunately, we made that mistake in front of the whole world, referencing the time a 12-year-old North wore a corset while they were in Europe. So she is aware of the optics. She is aware of the line, and she admits she has crossed it. This admission creates a baffling contradiction. She knows certain things are inappropriate. She claims to have learned from the corset incident. And yet, she allows the face tattoos and the concert environment, which are arguably far more extreme. It feels like a desperate attempt to be the cool mom, to be North's friend rather than her parent, in a bid to maintain a connection with a daughter who is rapidly evolving into a powerful, independent force. This struggle for control isn't happening in a vacuum.
Spend on glam.
Well, a lot, but if I'm filming my show, then they pay for it. If I'm working, then they pay for it. So I try to get it all paid for so that I don't personally have to pay for it.
Smart.
Yeah, but a tally. I mean, I don't have a concept of what like certain simple things cost, which really is, I'd like to know a little bit more about what like a milk carton costs, and let me think about this.
You can text.
No, I mean, it's probably
You like call your business manager.
Yeah. I should know this actually.
You should. Like 6 figures, 7 figures.
It could be $1 million,
I don't think I'd be surprised at that, right?
Hair
You got a lot
isn't cheap.
Babe, it looks great.
But I don't know.
It's set against the backdrop of a family culture that is profoundly out of touch with the realities of everyday life. A disconnection that makes it difficult for them to even gauge what is normal or appropriate. Remember when Kim was on that same podcast and casually admitted that she doesn't know how much basic things cost? She has no concept of the price of a gallon of milk or a loaf of bread. The public reaction was swift and merciless, as it should be. Someone commented, "You know how rich you gotta be to even say a sentence like this?"
Are you
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry! My diamond earring!
Hold on.
Seriously! It's not funny!
Are you serious?
We got $75,000!
Hold on, we'll find it, baby.
We're not gonna find it in the ocean! Mom, what happened? My diamond earring fell out. I had my diamond earrings and one of them came out.
Oh my god, okay, so take this one out. Show me where. Just show
In the ocean! I'm not gonna find it!
And they're right. It's a level of privilege that is almost incomprehensible. It's even more out of touch that she would openly admit it. You would think when you're that wealthy, you'd at least try to pretend you have some connection to the real world.
Your diamond earring in Bora Bora.
That was like one of my first biggest purchases. So they weren't insured yet. That's why I was so upset, is because that would be money down the drain. If I insured them, then I can just like claim them and then I could have gotten my money back. But I hadn't insured them. I got them that week. Kylie dove down, found it with her goggles in the ocean, and then went back and found the earring back. So I have the full exact earring.
Scott Disick, never one to miss an opportunity to troll, immediately seized on the moment, posing for a paparazzi photo shoot while holding up gallons of milk. It was a pathetic attempt at a clapback, but it underscored the sheer absurdity of Kim's confession. How can someone who is so clueless about the value of a dollar possibly instill a sense of groundedness and real-world consequence in their child? The answer is, they likely can't. This distance from reality is a relatively new development in Kim's story. Cast your minds back to 2011, a different era for the Kardashian brand. There's a famous scene where Kim is on a family vacation, and she drops a massive, expensive diamond earring into the ocean. Her reaction was one of pure, unadulterated panic.
You're doing right now because you are never gonna believe who Kendall Jenner had dinner with last night. Yeah, you saw that right. It's Mary-Kate Olsen. If you cannot understand how big of a deal this is, you're probably beyond help, but I'll try to do my best to explain it anyway. You do not see Mary-Kate out in public, at least with influencer-y or Instagram-y type celebrities, so this is pretty crazy. And after I looked through all the photos, it actually made me weirdly sad, not even in like an anti-Kardashian way, but just in that I think part of the appeal of the Olsen twins is that they feel like suspended in time in this way. Like, I want her to not even know who Kendall Jenner is, so seeing her at dinner with her just kind of like took me out of the spell a little bit. And if we were to look at this practically, like Kendall Jenner is always wearing the row, so like it makes sense that she would be hanging out with Mary-Kate. I saw people in the comments of like the Dumois photos theorizing that maybe they're doing some sort of like collab with the row, which would be pretty insane.
She was screaming, crying, utterly distraught. She knew the value of that diamond because, as she later explained on Call Her Daddy, it was one of her first major purchases, and it wasn't insured yet. That moment showed a woman who, despite her wealth, still understood the tangible worth of things. Oh, how times have changed. But not really. The diamond was ultimately found by her younger sister, Kylie, who dove bravely into the water to retrieve it. And, in a way, that moment was a perfect microcosm of their future personalities. Kim, the one who loses the valuable thing, and Kylie, the determined one who isn't afraid to get her hands dirty to fix a problem. It's a dynamic we've seen play out time and again. Speaking of Kylie, the family's struggles with perception and privacy extend beyond just Kim and North. Recently, we were all shook to see Kendall Jenner hanging out with the notoriously reclusive Mary-Kate Olsen. It was an outing nobody understood. They were at Sushi Park in LA, a place that looks like a normal, unassuming shopping center from the outside, but is actually one of the most exclusive, celebrity-frequented spots in the city.
Look, I just ran into all my babies on their walk. Hi, babies!
They don't even have a menu. The chef just prepares a meal that costs hundreds of dollars per person, a sum that is nothing to the likes of Kendall or Mary-Kate. It's a reminder that this entire family operates in a rarefied world of luxury and connection. A world where a simple sushi dinner can be a strategic business meeting, perhaps for a campaign with Mary-Kate's legendary brand, The Row. It's a world completely insulated from the concerns that plague most parents. And sometimes the stories that emerge from this bubble are simply heartbreaking. The recent passing of Kylie Jenner's dog, Norman, was one of those moments. Dogs are very close to my heart, and I feel a profound sense of sympathy for anyone who loses a pet. Norman was 13 years old, and he probably lived the most bougie life a dog could imagine. I'll be honest, I had no idea what an Italian Greyhound was until Kylie started showing him on television. He was this skinny, long, gray, always nervous-looking little creature, but so undeniably handsome. Her tribute to him was simple and heartfelt. I love you forever. Saying goodbye to a pet is one of the most difficult experiences, and it's a pain that transcends wealth and fame. Shout out to anyone out there who has ever lost a pet. The hole they leave behind never truly fills. I'll never forget my own dog, Annie. She was a little rescued poodle, and she was my best friend for so many years. Rest in peace, Annie. Norman will be missed. Of course, Kylie has many other dogs, which doesn't diminish the pain of this loss, but it does highlight the sheer scale of their world, where even pet ownership exists on a different plane. So, where does this leave Kim and North? We are left with a portrait of a mother drowning in a sea of her own making, a sea of wealth, permissiveness, and a desperate desire to be liked by her daughter. The face tattoos and the private flights to problematic concerts are not just acts of teen rebellion. They are symptoms of a much larger struggle. Kim Kardashian is trying to parent a hurricane, and she's doing it with tools made of tissue paper. She admits to mistakes, but seems incapable of learning from them in any consistent way. She preaches self-expression, but provides no guardrails to keep her daughter safe from genuine harm. She exists in a world so detached from reality that the concept of consequence seems to have become abstract. Northwest is growing up, and she is indeed a force to be reckoned with. The real question is, will Kim Kardashian find the strength to be the parent that Force so desperately needs? Or will she remain a spectator, watching from the sidelines as her daughter's life becomes a viral headline for all the wrong reasons? It's a struggle she tried to hide behind a facade of cool mom acceptance. But the truth is now out in the open, and it's more complicated and frightening than any of us could have imagined.